I remember being on campus and walking around praying one day, and my mom was actually in town, and she was with me, and I just stopped in the courtyard there at UNC, and I was overwhelmed, and it was a really special moment that my mom and I had, just praying together, asking for God to create something from nothing. And by God's grace, that first year, we were able to see a handful of students at each campus come to Christ. Here we are 10 years later, and it's just been really cool to see what God has done. So I became a Christian the summer before my junior year at Coastal Carolina. Campus Outreach showed up at Coastal, and I got connected to a guy named Ben. He was the campus director there at the time, and he began pursuing a friendship with me and my roommate Brian, and began sort of informally discipling us.
I was led to Christ by Grant Miller. Grant Miller was led to Christ by Eric McKee, I believe, and Eric McKee was led to Christ by Ben.
So I was led to Christ by Tanner Hogue, who was led to Christ by John Spatana. And John Spatana was led to Christ by Brian Bender, and then Brian Bender was led to Christ by Ben.
It is cool to kind of zoom out for a little bit and see that, man, I'm a part of a legacy leading back to lots of generations.
It's all built around the Holy Spirit giving us energy to do this kind of work, because it's hard when you're focused on non-Christians day in and day out, relational evangelism. So leaning into His power and just believing God that He can do it again, and He'll keep doing it.
It just gets built into your DNA that this is just what you do as a Christian. Every relationship that I have, every friend that I meet in med school, that's an opportunity for me to get to know somebody, build a relationship, love them, and share the gospel with them.
Yeah, so a disciple reproducer is able to disciple somebody in such a way that that person is able to effectively disciple someone else. So you're really thinking of the generations beyond.
I'm a part of a long line of disciple reproducers, so I hope that I'm not the last of that line. One of my biggest hopes is that we just realize that not everyone is called to full-time ministry, serving on a college campus or with any other organization. Just some of us are called to go into the work field. Some of us are called to be those financial supporters. Some of us are called to just be in support and prayer.
We're asking God to lead someone else to Christ, to allow us to disciple them and give them a vision for becoming a disciple reproducer.
I've been reflecting on what a gift it's been to be a part of this, to be reached and to be able to reach. Man, I wouldn't trade it for $1 trillion.